Hello, guys. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. Thank you very much for joining in. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students who are appearing for FRM and CFA exams. Now, today I'm back with one of my students who has been able to clear the exam in this May 2022. He was appearing for FRM Level 2, and this was his second attempt, and he cleared the exam now. And now we're going to be talking about his journey, what all challenges he faced, how did he manage demotivation, what all problems he faced, and what was the strategy that he was using to prepare for the exam. The purpose of this interview is to make sure that people who are preparing on their own or preparing, they don't have particular guidance to prepare, they can get some idea on how other people are preparing and clearing the exam. So with this, thank you. I'd like to welcome Hemant Joshi. Thank you very much for joining in and taking out time for the community and sharing your knowledge and your experience with the exam. Thank you very much for joining in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So Hemant, before we
Hello,
start,
everyone. My name is Hemant Joshi.
hmm, thank
Sorry,
you,
sir.
Hemant. So before we
Should I
start with our
proceed?
journey,
Yeah,
uh, just give a brief about you in the sense that what is your work experience and when did you appear for level one and when did you clear level one, basically.
sure, sir. Um, Hello, everyone. My name is Hemant Joshi. I have 15 years of work experience and I work with a multinational bank, mainly into market risk division. So to your question, I started in 2020. I was appearing for my level one in November, but as you know, due to COVID, it was moved, and that happened in Jan 2021. So
Okay.
16 Jan 2021, I appeared for my level one, and I still
Hmm.
remember 5th 16 2021, I got my result, and I cleared my FRM level one on that day.
Perfect, perfect. And then you started with your level two preparation immediately, or you took some gap?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Immediately I started, but I don't know. Somehow I was feeling a little thrilled about it. Like I felt that
Okay.
okay, level one is great. I scored good marks, so probably I'll be able to make it for my level two. But I think
Okay.
that's one of the lesson also that I learned. And at the same time, I would like to give this advice to everyone. Level one is a different animal, and level two is a very different animal. You can't have the same attacking position for both of them. You have to have a different strategy for both the levels.
Okay. Okay. And when you are preparing, so primarily you appeared for the November 2021 level two exam, and you could not clear the exam.
December 2021, sir.
December 2021.
Yeah.
Now, what was the major challenges or major learnings which you feel that because of which you could not clear the exam?
Sir, there were few reasons. One reason definitely, I think I had I had a confidence that I'll definitely make my way towards
Okay.
level two. And due to COVID, because it was a complete lockdown, second lockdown, I was in my hometown Ahmedabad. A lot of my friends were visiting me, and I took it a little easy. So that was my
Okay.
mistake because, as I was telling you, use the same strategy of level one for level two, which didn't work out for me, and I was taking it easy. I was reading it slowly. I thought,
Okay.
but at the same time, the subjects were pretty dry as compared to level one because this is mostly theoretical. We have six books, so but
Mm.
I definitely like moved to like I shifted gear when there were only 3 months left. But at the same time, few things didn't work in my as in didn't work as per what I thought of. I'll give you three reasons behind it, sir, and I discussed it with you before also.
Mhm.
One thing that I missed it is in terms of like I kept, because I took like 2 weeks off from my office. I thought
Mhm.
I'll definitely read through all the books in those 15 days, and I will be able to like grasp everything. But
Okay.
what went wrong was when I was reading it, like I was revising it, it was not a very quick one. And one of my friend also told me, Hemant, you need to be fast. You can't like, this is not the time where you start reading it slowly. Because
Correct.
of
Okay.
that couple of chapters I just like glanced through it instead, and they were important ones, so that was my first mistake
Okay.
during my revision. Second mistake that happened was because I was always a morning person. I used to study in the morning, I used to like write my mocks in the morning, but I took like afternoon session. And
Okay.
I feel people who are like a morning folks who love to like take mocks in the morning, I would suggest
Mhm.
please don't change it at the last minute. I burned my fingers during that time I learned it hard way. Please, if you are comfortable for morning hours, give your exam in the morning time, and if you are like
Okay.
you are comfortable for afternoon, because I
Mm-hmm.
was not comfortable for afternoon. And third thing that happened with me, sir, because I gave it at Indra Nagar in Bangalore. Unfortunately, when I was giving my exam, and a lot of people who were giving along with me, like few other folks, they
Mm-hmm.
noticed this, that there was a marriage happening next to our center. And when I used to
Okay.
study, I used to keep like pin drop silence. I never want to have even a single drop of like noise while working or while taking exam. But that
Okay.
went absolutely against me. There was a lot of noise. We asked the center people also to help us, but they said that, see, this is beyond our control. And that's where I learned that, okay, things that are not beyond your control, you should be prepared for it. That's why, sir, when I appeared for my second time, I worked on all these three things. First and foremost, I ensured that I
Mm-hmm.
did my revision way before, and during last 15 days I was just glancing through my notes, everything, your important videos, your summary videos that helped me, and talking to people who have given this. So like you, one of my friend Hemant Adhikari, who helped me during this entire process, this entire journey. So
Right.
I was talking to them. In fact, Wabhav from Fintree as well. He was a constant friend of mine who helped me in talking to me
Okay.
during this tough time. I took morning session, and when I was taking my mocks, I
Mm-hmm.
took mocks when my entire family is together, when there is a TV going on, and
Okay.
I ensured that if I'm put in such situation, I should be able to crack the exam. So I think
Okay.
all these things help me.
Primarily, you are making yourself ready for that disturbance if it comes during that
Yes,
period of
sir.
time. And when
Yes,
you
sir.
said so, when you were preparing for the next attempt, the second part, when did you start? Immediately after the
Sir,
result?
yes, 19th of Jan, I remember my result came. One disturbing element that happened with me on that day was like my result was not reflecting. Lot of my friends
Okay.
called me and they said, Hemant, the result is reflecting, including you, sir, when you mentioned to me that, Hemant, please go ahead and check your result. It was not reflecting for me. It took me like good 4 5 hours. It was just showing the
Okay.
same screen again and again. Those hours were completely disturbing for me. One thing can happen to you, that you know that okay, you are failed, you are flunked, and you need to
Mhm.
start working. But for me, it was complete suspense for me. So those 5 hours were very difficult for me to pass on, and then finally I got my result, and
Mhm.
unfortunately I couldn't clear it. Very same day I spoke to my friends, and I spoke to you also, sir, and you motivated me, and you said that the world doesn't end here. You need to like pull up your socks again and start reading again. Very next day I register for my exam. I prepared a like complete plan for myself, like how I will do. I prepared it for entire 3 months. I shared it with the user. I shared it with
Mhm.
my friend Hemant Adhikari. You both looked at it. You actually helped me, saying that okay, Hemant, change this, change that. And I remember every there were toll gate sessions where I was telling you, okay, I have completed my revision, I've
Right.
completed my mocks, I've completed my questions. So I was keeping you posted and my friend posted, and you were completely like you were always with me in terms of telling me, Hemant, probably you should change here, you should change there. So that helped me. So I think that kept me grounded, that kept me ensured that like
Okay.
okay, I need to work on my strategy again and again.
Okay. And so you again, when you were preparing for the second time, Swagger was the main book that you were
Yes,
reading from that.
sh-
Okay.
yes, sir.
And
I read Shredder twice during my second time.
second time. Okay. And when any idea when you were able to complete the first time when you were doing the
Uh,
second preparation? And you said
uh,
two times, right? So
s-
first one.
Yeah. So I completed in because I had read it before. So this time it took me little less time comparatively, and I was
Okay.
able to finish it in 2 months' time. So within 2 months, I was able to finish my first reading. And when I was doing my first reading, also, sir, what I used to do is I used to watch your videos at the highest speed, like two. So I used to make
Okay.
sure that I read Schweizer first, and then I go to your video. So in case there is something that's written between the lines, I should be able to get that concepts clear with your video. So that helped me. And I
Okay.
think the second reading that happened, because I had made a lot of notes that time, I like
Mhm.
highlighted plenty of lines, it was even more quicker. I was just going through those lines, those important paragraphs, my notes, and I think that helped me.
Okay. 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 Perfect. And then primarily, uh, when did you complete your solving for your? So you did a fresh solving. I mean, you solved
Yes, sir.
everything properly.
I did all the questions again, and I think
Hmm.
that's where I would like to give you credit for the same, because you have questions from a lot of sources, and it was present there, and it used to give me that feeling that okay, I am
Okay.
in an examination hall and I'm solving them. So every Saturday, Sunday, sir, I used to like solve all the questions. So I kept those 2 days only for solving questions, and
Okay.
on a weekdays I used to make sure like every like in the morning, because I have a like morning shift. So I
Hmm.
used to wake up early, study for 2 hours in the morning, and in the evening also I used to study 2 hours. So that helped me to read, and over the weekend I used to only solve questions.
Okay. 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 Perfect. Perfect. So 4 hours on an average, you're putting this time
Yes.
to prepare, and you're going
Yes.
through the videos plus the textbook both, and you were going through book by book, or was it like two books simultaneously you were
I,
reading or
I
something?
was I was going two books simultaneously, sir. I did like market and credit together, and I did
Okay.
liquidity and risk management together, and
Okay. Okay.
operations and current issues like that. I went.
Okay. And so when did you complete your question bank? Which month primarily?
Sir, if I tell you like I was almost on the last leg in terms of where only 20-25 days were left. I was able to finish solving videos, second time reviews, everything was completed. And last 15-20 days, I just did mocks, and I was
Hmm.
just revising my syllabus. So that's how I did it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And primarily, during this entire journey from January, the result came in until till your exam date. Was there a time when you're not able to dedicate anything, any time? Suppose the work pressure was huge or time commitment to other things were there, and you could not sit for preparation. Was there any time period between that?
It was always there, sir, because there is because one, I'm a family person, I have my kid, plus office work was also there. But I knew that if not now, I won't be able to do it again, because I know the
Right.
best attempt to qualify, as in like clear any exam, is the first time. And if not first time, the second time is the another best time. But after that, if you delay the process, definitely a lot of other problems, other elements will come into picture. So I made
Right.
sure that even if it's a long day at office, I used to sit late in the night or finish my stuff. But I knew it because I needed this certification by any means. So I ensured that I study hard. I put all my hours, and like family life and personal life was taking a
Right.
toll. But yeah, I ensured that I give preference to this one.
No, definitely. If you want to achieve something, you have to sacrifice certain part of it. It cannot happen side by side. So
Yes.
primarily, you have to do some sacrifice. Sacrifice. Now, when we talk about the exam, so before the exam, you went for the exam, you were able to revise also the second time, the revision full,
Yes, sir. I
end to end.
was. I was.
And mock
Yeah.
papers you were able to give properly. Also,
Yes, sir.
there's no problem. Now,
Yes.
when you went for the exam, the first hour, compare it with your first attempt and the second attempt.
Sure. So the first hour is actually, I'll tell to everyone, like it's the most important hour. If you think that you don't know that question, don't break your head on that one. Rather move on. Go to the next one. This is another learning, sir, that I had from my first attempt, where I was told by someone that only 20-25 questions you can move on to the as in like if you are solving like first 20-25 questions, and if you go to the 26th one, you cannot come back to the first 20-25 questions. So that another
Oh,
myth or misconception that I had, because when I attempted for my level one, it was a paper based. So what I did was whatever questions I don't know, I used to come back and do that in the
right.
end. But this time, because I had that misconception that you cannot come back, I was worried, and that
Okay.
that was another mistake that I did, and I was continuously breaking my head in level one to solve those questions. So my first 20 questions were good when I attempted for the first time, but after 20, like 21st to next 40 were little tough, and I was breaking my head there. But this time what I did was, wherever I was not comfortable, I just wrote it on the piece of paper that okay, I need to solve this question later, and I
Okay.
came back to that question in the end. So that's how I was able to like crack this time much better way.
Okay. And you are also flagging the questions, the system flagging.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I did the
So
flagging.
so when you went for the exam, out of 80, how many were theory for you and how many were calculation driven for
Sir, for me, if I remember it correctly, there were like close to 18 to 20 questions which were practical. Rest 60 were theoretical. And because I appeared for the very first day of the exam,
you?
my questions were also lengthy, sir. I would say
Okay.
the theoretical questions were lengthy. So that's what I was thinking. Like we had to like, as in for me, I was reading it couple of times to understand it, but I was able to like come down to at least two options out of four, and that's where
Okay.
I was trying to utilize my knowledge, which one is right, by reading it again and again. So I think that
Okay.
helped me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And out of those 18, 20 practical question, were they very tough or were they straight away from the book?
I would say like out of those 20, 11 questions were pretty simple, where you can just do plug and play, or if you know like the tactic of solving it, you can definitely solve it. Rest eight questions were like little tough, where tough as in they were tricky ones, where you have to utilize your knowledge and solve
Okay.
it. So that was the I think that was my strategy which I applied for the
Okay.
exam.
And primarily, when we talk about theory question, okay, so like you said, you are stuck in those two options. So when you were reading it again, you were able to make your mind, okay, which is the right option. That was
Correct,
possible.
correct.
So,
Yes,
so the
that was
only
possible.
challenge is basically you have to give some time to a particular question, read
Yes.
and read and read like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would suggest like if you are able to come down to two options and you are pretty sure about those two options, read those
Mhm.
two options two more times, and probably you will be able to make a way in terms of which one is more correct or which one is making sense as compared to what is being asked. So I think that's how I was able to um, like come down to one option out of those two. So that's
Okay.
how I solved that. Yeah.
Okay. And with respect to, if you take look at the entire 80 questions for the exam, can I want to understand, were there any questions which you felt were outside of this treasure or very extraordinary tough, something like that?
I would say like there was one or two question which were I think mainly coming from GAP, where someone actually called me a day before and he told me some model name which was not there mentioned in Schwezer.
Treasure.
And when I saw and I asked that one of my friend who called me that time, and I said I've never read about this model. He said yeah, it's in operations risk and it's only in GARP. I forgot the name of that model right now. It was pretty clear on that day. And fortunately, when I was solving my question, same question appeared, because my friends called me that day. I
Okay.
knew this should be the answer because he actually told me about this model. So I took a chance
Okay.
over there. Yeah. So, but otherwise, I would say like if you read Schwezer, there is no way that you cannot pass this exam. You can definitely pass this exam, but at the
Okay.
same time, solve plenty of questions, because that's the key to
Hmm.
pass.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Now, if somebody comes and asks you what are the three tips if that person wants to clear the FRM level two, what would be those three tips from your side?
Yeah, start early for sure, because this is not like college exams where you can just pick the book 1 month before and just clear it. Definitely, you need guidance, you need support, you need support from your family as well, and you need support from your friends as well. You need to talk a lot of people. So definitely start early, so that you can able to solve the and prepare a plan. Plan may fail in between, because that's human. We will make mistakes. No
Mhm.
plan is like foolproof. So definitely, but you have to keep revising it. Even when I told you that like I had just 3 months 4 months in hand, and I prepared a plan which I shared with you, sir, and with my friend.
Mhm.
It was not that each time I was able to achieve it. There were days where I was not able to
Right.
achieve it, but weekend is completely in your control. probably weekdays are not, but weekend is definitely in your control. So you can utilize your or weekend to best of your abilities and take benefit out of it. So first is start early. Two, read your be it garp or be it Shweza. If you're comfortable with garp language, I was not, but Shweza I was pretty happy with. So read it twice, at least twice. And third is like, sir, solve as many questions as you can and keep yourself
Yeah.
cool and calm on the day of exam. That's the most important thing. I actually, in spite of having the first hand experience when I flunked it, I missed taking my passport on the day of exam. But fortunately, I was carrying my license with me, so
Oh,
vehicle
okay.
license, and they said like either of them is okay. And that's where I got a sigh of relief that okay, at least I'm
Okay.
carrying one of them. Yeah, because had I not kept my license with me, I am sure I would have made a brilliant, as in like biggest error again. But thankfully,
But
my
this was the
stars were
second
in
attempt.
my favor. Yeah, this was second attempt, sir. I forgot. I
Okay.
just missed it because I ensured that I keep myself cool. But in that coolness, I forgot that I've not kept my passport. Kept it at near to my bag, and when I was going for my exam, I just missed it. But
Okay.
thankfully, I think that's what. Uh, there were somewhere down the line my stars were in my favor. My my luck was with me that I was carrying my carrying my license. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now after the exam has been cleared, results are out. What are the feedbacks of people around you, your family, friend, and office people?
Everyone is super happy. My family is super happy because they have seen me. They have seen the time when I was totally down. I think, sir, you were very happy. I know this. You messaged me late in the night at 12 saying that, even please
Results
check
are
your
out,
result.
yes.
It is out. And as I told you, I'm a morning person. I slept early. I never knew that the result has already come. I woke up in the morning. I saw so many messages. One of my friend Nathan Reddy, he actually messaged me saying that, Hemant, the results are out. I am passed. Hoping to hear the same news from you. And that was even more terrifying because now someone is passed, and now the expectation is whether you are qualified or not. I was checking my result and I forgot my password. My hands were shivering. I set my password again, checked it, and thankfully it said that submit your experience letter. And then I said,
Okay.
okay, it's true. And I think I called you, sir. I called my friend Hemant Adhikari, telling them that yes, I made it this time.
Definitely, definitely. This has been a wonderful journey. I mean, a lot of
Yes.
learnings, a lot of things, and the best part was that you didn't quit, even when
Yeah.
your plans were not getting successful of achieving a particular target. You still keep on going, and that is what actually makes a very very big difference in your exam preparation. And I'm sure a lot of people who are watching the video, not only level 2 but level 1 students also, what they can learn from this entire thing is, even if suppose you're not able to clear the first attempt, do not obviously there's a lot of demotivation in your life, but how do you kick that demotivation and move ahead and give the exam again and clear it? That is one very very big learning from this interview. And definitely this interview is going to be a lot of inspirational for people who are going to appear for level 2. Now a lot of people have cleared level 1. They will watch the interview and they'll be motivated to go for the exam in November in the next May. Okay, so thank you very much, Hemant. Thank you for taking out time and sharing your
Thank
experience,
you,
sharing
sir.
your thoughts and points. This is going to be really helpful for the community and the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.